one another for the power and the glory. Jah kingdom goes to waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are tied behind we back, while certain people if unbutton. Where do we stand? We have too far to go, not to really know just how we're getting there. And if we're getting anywhere, we have too much to try.
We have too much to gain. We have too much to lose as a people. Welcome again to the channel. And if you're just joining us for the first time, this is where we take a look at some issues that is affecting island Jamaica, the place where all of we love. And as a man from the rock, I take it as my job to provide insights and to amplify discussions on some of the topical issues that floating out there. And today we want to take a look at the issue of the Integrity Commission and the struggle that Prime Minister Andrew Holness seems to be involved in. In fact, as the caption said, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his fight with integrity. And while it is with the Integrity Commission, I really want to attach to it just a little bit more in the respect of the whole business of integrity. I learned as a young man that the concept of integrity, right, is simply this. Integrity is who you are when no one is looking. Integrity means doing the right thing all the time, even when it might not be in your best interest. And so it's against this background that, before we dive into the business of this whole business of the integrity issues with Prime Minister Holness, who may have a lot of respect for, like him, and I'm just in this vein of disappointment. But before we touch that, the Integrity Commission Act was signed into law on the 23rd day of October of 2017 by the Governor General. I call him the Governor General, Mr. Allen. Now, Patrick Allen, to give him full name and title, Governor General of Jamaica. And of course, the act, in its introduction, it states the Integrity Commission Act is to promote and enhance standards of ethical conduct for parliamentarians, public officials, and other persons by consolidating laws relating to the prevention of corruption and the award, monitoring, and investigating of government contracts and prescribed licenses, and to provide for the establishment of a single body known as the Integrity Commission to promote and strengthen the measures for prevention, detection, investigation, and prosecution of acts of corruption, as this relates to areas like misuse of office and public enrichment, unexplained public enrichment, and so on. And so, without getting into no whole heap of dialogue on that, because you can look that up, you can pull it up on Google, the Integrity Commission Act, and look at its provisions and so on. And so, as a public official, all of the people who fall in that heading, Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, opposition, once you are in the service of the government, you are contracted by and work for the government, you are subject to these laws. Remember, what this is, it's an investigative body. And trust me now, with the best of intentions, You know, we are all humans and people fall by the wayside. People are always going to be susceptible to their own foibles, you know, temptations and so on out there. And a lot of people go in a public office. I'm not saying that the Prime Minister go in a public office to enrich himself. I am not even against the Prime Minister making a whole heap of money. There is absolutely nothing wrong with him and any Jamaican who doing well for themselves. May only have a problem that, you know, you can't do, in my opinion, you can't do the two things. You can't run the country while you are, you know, involved in a big business on the outside. You know, the contemporary wisdom would have determined that you would have siphon off all of those interests and put your business in the hands of competent people and you stay outside of the thing so that nobody can point a finger on you. But that is apparently not the case with respect to Mr. Holness. And so he has become the subject of these investigations, unfortunately, right? Now, in fairness again to Mr. Holness, for all the time he has been in Parliament, and he has been in Parliament since 1997, if I remember correctly, he has never failed to file his statutory deduction, his statutory declaration. Never. And the issue here is not about him not filing his statutory declaration. It is about a couple of years of these statutory declarations when, for whatever the reason, however determined, Mr. Holness has come into some strong money. No objection to him having some strong money. Me would have liked some strong money, and every Jamaican would have liked that. However, if you are finding yourself in the realm of enrichment, you are going to have to give some stronger explanation as your asset and liability position changes with the time. And according to the act that you said, remember too, you know, Mr. Holness won the election, in the Jamaican election, was it 2017, February it was 2017. And so it was his administration, under his administration, that this new variation of the Integrity Act was signed into law. A FEME administration signed it into law, and it was signed into law almost 8 months after taking the reins of the government. So if there are aspects of this thing that you disagreed with, you had the opportunity then to kind of filter them out. Be that as it may, this is the act that governs yours and the behavior of all public servants in the country. Again, me not say Mr. Holness guilty of anything outside of maybe not very truthful in terms of how he has explained certain things, right? Let me hold that back a little bit. Hold that back. My bad. There is a view out there that Mr. Holness never know that he was being investigated. Him says so. And it is out in the public domain that he was being investigated. Now, the commission is on record and them submit a whole ream of documentation. If you disbelieve me, go read the 171 pages of documents that constitute the report submitted in Parliament, which is now out there for public consumption, which delineates all of the correspondences and the communications between the Prime Minister and members of the investigating body of the Integrity Commission. And you know, I'm gonna play a video of a Jamaican constituent in a conversation with Dion Jackson Miller, where she is speaking to this thing because, like her, most Jamaicans were being led to believe that this investigation by the Integrity Commission of the Prime Minister was a Nicodemus thing that happened to him in the night, right? And so we want to take it from here. Here we go. So there you have it. This is an excerpt from a Dean Jackson Miller All Angles program that I just wanted to bring to the conversation, because that is the trouble that we're supposed to have. Listen, if Mr. Holness make a whole heap of money, that's for him business, right? As long as he might do it legitimately. And if him in a business, the mistake he might make to be a businessman and try to be, he might run the country as a prime minister and be a businessman at the same time. And you can't commingle the two things. You cannot. You shouldn't, rather, because he might do it. So you shouldn't correct that. He might do it. And by doing that, he is subjecting himself to being dragged over the coals by the relevant authority, an authority that his administration had provided with the level of strengthening that it now has, and is doing the job that the people who work there is mandated. Well, the entity is mandated to do, and the personnel who are executing those tasks, those are their responsibilities as officers of the entity. And so I see where the prime minister is threatening to carry people go to court. You know, in fact, he's now threatening lawsuit against people who is discussing the thing. This is a matter that is in the public domain. We are not subject anymore to the old time days when you could have said, why, you know, the media will not get enough information. Media is largely different today than it was, you know, at least a decade ago. The social media landscape, the ubiquitous internet availability allows all of us as Jamaicans to have your say and to put it out there in the public domain. Me, I'm careful not to libel anybody. I'm simply reporting the information and commenting on on the bits and pieces of information that is out there, to educate people who may not be as able to avail themselves to the information to the extent that I can, right? But I think, though, that it is a disingenuous thing on the part of the PM to be taking this kind of approach that, first of all, you have given us the impression as Jamaicans that the Integrity Commission is coming after you, is a witch hunt. That term is synonymous with something that, the place where me live up here, so that where the, one side of the political divide I deal with. That every time that you are required to give account of something is a witch hunt. When you are in front of the public, when you choose to be in front of the public, this is the price that you are going to have to pay. And I believe that it leave a very bad taste in the mouth. PM, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, are threatening to sue people who dare to criticize him. That is you ask for that role. Now, if people out there want to tell lie, that a fit them thing and that's so, yeah, I agree with that. But by making this blanket statement, I'm going to instruct my attorneys to go after the people who are thing. What you are doing is trying to take away people's right to free speech, people's right to information that even the administration itself, right? The current Jamaican administration has a Freedom of Information Act. There is an Integrity Act. We have access to the internet where you can do your own searches, right? You are able to pull up all of these documentation and peruse them. Now, if you comment, you are responsible, because with the right, there are responsibilities. And so if you misuse the right that you have, yeah, I agree with you that, deal with that. But this whole business of threatening people or to be misleading the people of the country, that you are being pounced upon like a Nicodemus in the night, is bad. It's wrong. It is wrong. And what is worse, what is even more embarrassing is when it becomes clear, because we now have the facts that show that nothing never got so. So, Mr. Holness, listen, this is the job that you chose. And so you have a responsibility, right? You have a responsibility to level with the country, not just the level with the people who are your close friends and are if them are just JLP. Jamaica is not JLP and PNP. Jamaica is Jamaica. And whether the people them did vote for you, yes or no, you are the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And you need to lead by example, right? The issue of the three companies that you are associated with, where you are in business with, one senior board member of a government entity that is involved in an entity that administrates a massive part of the resources of the country. And clearly your business that you are in is benefiting from those associations. Those are corrupt practice. Corrupt practice doesn't necessarily means that you're a thief, right? Because people might want to think that. You cannot, there has to be a law that says you can't be in the government and not do business with the same government and government entities for which you have stewardship for, right? Typically, what sensible people do, if them in a business and they want to, eat a cake and you pass on the responsibility, the role of management. You recuse yourself, transfer your shares them to people who you believe you can trust. Put that in a ironclad it in a legalese so them can't sell or dispose everything. And when your time done in a government service, you go back and take over the thing, right? That's what smart money do. But you cannot want to be eating your cake and you still have it. You have to do business with the government through these entities. And what is worse, according to the integrity report, the company them that are involved now not paying a tax, but you're transferring a lend 29 million and you're not paying a tax. These are not companies that are listed on the stock exchange that you could say, okay, so these are companies that them not need to be declaring any taxes because them have tax holidays and so on. And if that is the case, let it be known. But none of these companies are listed on the stock market and is out there and trading on the market in a public way, right? If that is the case, that must be documented. But your interest in those companies, whatever that interest is going to become caught up in these reports, these integrity reports, because the integrity report is looking at you, the public servant, and your roles and responsibilities and your attachments, financial and otherwise, outside of the work where you're supposed to do. And so, Mr. Holness, it don't look good. Nobody now come after you. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that is not where I sit, right? I believe that every Jamaican must be able to make as much money as long as you're not a thief, nobody, as long as you're not do nothing illegal, go make as much money as you want. But you can't eat your cake and still have it, right? And you cannot have it both ways neither. In the other respects, that because you do this thing and people are call you out for it, instead of address the problem, the issue at hand, what you're trying to do is to silence the people. The last thing we want to say is, with respect to this thing, is the fire alarm that Mayor raised. Let me rephrase that. The alarm that was raised the other night that the Prime Minister residence was the subject of a bomb threat. And so, because somebody called me and said, boy, a whole heap of police up on Mr. Holness yard and thing. And I said, what? Mr. Holness, oh, says fuck, me drive past a couple times and the place is like Fort Knox, not even Westminster Abbey or the Buckingham Palace is as fortified as, the ramparts and the wall them up there. You can't barely see. You have to go use a atomic bomb if you go bomb up that place, right? And so, bomb scare. So the first thing we look at, a bomb scare, the fire brigade must be the first people you call, right? Because them have the training to deal with things like that, a bomb scare. Them are come and the next thing is everybody in the house, you need to evacuate the house and then you evacuate the surrounding areas. So all of the homes within a certain radius of the thing, plus the place up on a hill, so you're supposed to evacuate the whole of Beverly Hills, right? As the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense, you have to protect the Prime Minister. So JDF is supposed to send a helicopter and take out him and his family and carry them go a safe place while them think. None of that never go on. None of that no go on. So how you then will have it out a road? And the media don't even pick that up. It shows a level of carelessness, a level of collusion from the media perspective, where we just, any little crap, you just grab it. Nobody thinks the thing through, right? Or is it that them afraid? Well, me call it as it is. A bomb threat, there is a set approach to dealing with a bomb threat. No matter, you never take any kind of bomb threat lightly. The minute a man say bomb threat, we call the yard and say, boy, we plant a bomb and it will go off or whatever and expect. The first thing you do, boom, get out of the place, right? You call the fire department and them now gonna come and them gonna inspect the place from bow to stern, right? The police come and them secure the area, traffic can't come in at the area because a bomb scare. We don't know what kind of bomb. We don't know. That never happened. You know, these things are disingenuous, and we need to address all of that, right? We can't continue in this vein where everything that come out of the Prime Minister's mouth as a word, because if you can't believe him in instances like this, how do you believe him in terms of the policy framework that him enunciate? Is a sleight of hand thing then. You're not in it for the benefit of the country. You're in it for yourself, right? And that is what the Integrity Commission is all about. It is not about trying to catch him and say, we got you. It is to look on your numbers, look on the changes in your personal equity or wealth position, right? Report on it. And if it is unacceptable, then we take action. But if it is incomplete, right, by virtue of the fact that you're not providing them with the information that they're requesting timely enough, because that's a part of what caused this thing to be dragged out for such a long time, based on the notes in the report that the Integrity Commission filed, that them constantly have to be backing and forthing with the PM to get the accurate information. And every time you think you're done, your piece more missing, because when them connect the dots, it now add up, right? That's really what it is. It's not a witch hunt. It is not. And there's no benefit to anybody in Jamaica to take out a witch hunt against the Prime Minister. None. Right? Even from a political standpoint. Because you're there or come too. There's nothing like that. What we need to do is to say to the people of Jamaica and people who are outside of Jamaica who have an interest in investing their money, right, them hard-earned money in Jamaica, is that this is the right place, because these are the guardrails that we have to ensure the transparency. Transparency is not just something where you say, it is a demonstrable situation, right? It's not your words, it's your deeds. That is what transparency is. And it takes me back to the whole business of integrity. Integrity is who you are when nobody look. Integrity is who you are when no one is looking. It means doing the right thing all the time, even if it may not be in your best interest. You are always going to do the right thing. Mr. Holness, we are lose half of you. You need to do the right thing, right? If you want to be in the private sector and make a piss pot load of money, and you have a right to do that, you need to left the work and go pay attention to your investment. That's how me see, right? And this befuddling, and we have this backing and forth, now that the country ain't good. So again, Mr. Holness, integrity. You let me down. And the girl on the Deion Jackson Miller tape when we played earlier is also another person who is expressing, and because she says she's as a Jamaican, we are your constituent. And you let me down because you gave the impression that this thing was a Nicodemus affair where I come after you never know nothing about it. And when we now see that you have always been in the know. So what's the purpose? We're bigger than that. A whole heap of people in Jamaica and outside of Jamaica follow them things, right? Because we love the country. But we'll lose half of you, my soldiers. May I tell you that? And people want to know. People are curious as to, where them stand in respect of you, Mr. Holness, and and this whole business of your investment. The minute you are in the position as a public servant, the people of Jamaica have a right to know, right? Them have that right. As Ernest Smith said in the song, we the people want to know just where we stand, right? And you know, you can't have where we tie we back and behind we back because you know one the thing. Ernest Smith, let me play a little piece of the song one more
And
time.
as we fight one another for the power and the glory, Jah kingdom goes the waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are tied behind we backs, while certain people if unbutton. Where do we stand? We have too far to go, not to really know just how we're getting there. And if we're getting anywhere, we have too much to change, not to know the range of possibility and changeability. Violence and crime.
So, Mr. Holness, we have too far to go. You know, you have been given the responsibility to hold the reins right now. But you tie we hand behind the back because, you know, we are sowing the seeds of discord. Leadership is bigger than that, boss man. Leadership is about being accountable, right? Taking responsibility, demonstration of integrity, right? That's what leadership is all about. And, you know, yeah, if you, we are always buck with you, you know, because I don't see it. Me do me have my fair share, but me take my licks. As we all should do, right? It's not about trying to threaten people because, you know, it's the country bigger than that. It's bigger than me, bigger than you, bigger than your family, bigger than the business them way in. The country is a composite of the 3 million people who are down there and people like myself, hundreds of thousands more who live outside of Jamaica but have similar vested interests back home. So, you know, what we say is if you don't want to have to be reporting and put your business out the street, it is simple. Just step away. Step away, right? And go do your thing. Nobody can go ask Mr. Grace Kennedy and, you know, Mr. Well, them company, they're a public company too. So if them out there do foolishness, them answerable to them shareholders. So everybody is accountable to somebody, right? But if you want to run your own thing where you don't answer to nobody, then go and go do that. But you can't be the prime minister and the managing director and chairman and chief executive of your entities, whether in a name or just by your virtue of your involvement. The two things don't work, right? And so when you think, yeah, people want to know how come you're so rich. We not say you thief nothing. We just want to know how you do it, how you accumulate all of this money and this power. Not just the political, but the economic power. And nothing wrong with that, you know. Me would love no because me would love to get a little taste too. But me want to be guided by the expert. Clearly, you are an expert at this. I mean, I have no problem to say that. Right? We just want to know. We just hope to that when you tell we, you know, hide nothing, and if you're not involved in no skullduggery, we hope that not happen. Because then that would be a catastrophe to us as a people and a country. So listen, I eat that for me. Hopefully you like the video, and if you do, me I will invite you for, you know, just hit the like button if you have not yet subscribed. Only for people, at least half of the people who are watching the video no subscribe. Subscribe to the channel so that we can share with you more discussion like this. I am in the business of That is my my forte, providing discourse. So listen, subscribe to the channel, you know, and let me get your comments, your feedback in the comment section, and check out our website. You know, we do a whole heap of things in the yard media, and we invite your support. Right? Until then, we the people want to know just where we're going. And as Mr. Ernest Smith said, you know, right now we're hands tied. And we, as we said, we the people want to know. And that's kind of where how I look at this thing. We fight one another for the power and the glory.
For the power.
Jack Kingdom goes to waste.
Jack Kingdom goes to waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are tied behind the back while we serve.